Today we shall study about the physical significance of critical pressure ratio or give a physical explanation of the critical pressure ratio. Last class we had derived an expression for the critical pressure ratio. Also we obtained an expression for the maximum mass flow rate through a nozzle. Now consider two vessels A and B. A contains steam at pressure P1, B contains steam at pressure P2. Their two vessels are joined by a diaphragm containing the convergent nozzle as shown in the figure. Initially, let us assume that pressure P2 in the vessel P is equal to pressure P1 in the vessel A. Then there will be no flow of steam through the nozzle. Now, gradually by reducing the pressure P2, the flow rate through the nozzle goes on increasing. The flow rate through the nozzle increases by reducing the pressure P2, and you can see that mass flow rate through the nozzle increases up to a certain value of pressure ratio known as critical pressure ratio, and by decreasing the pressure P2 below the critical pressure, there will be no change in mass flow rate. Therefore, that is, mass flow rate increases up to a certain value of critical pressure ratio and thereafter it remains constant, as shown in the graph. Now, we will find out what is the velocity of steam for maximum discharge. Velocity of steam for maximum discharge. So, velocity of steam is given by, so C2 equal to root 2 by n minus 1 P1 V1 minus P2 V2. This will express in terms of P2 V2 is equal to 2 root 2 n by n minus 1 P2 V2 into bracket P2 by P1 raised to n minus 1 by n minus 1. Now, putting the value for maximum discharge through the nozzle, P2 by P1 pressure ratio should be critical pressure ratio. Critical pressure, putting the value of critical pressure ratio as P2 by P1 equal to 2 by n plus 1 whole raised to n by n minus 1 as derived earlier. We will get C2 equal to 2 by n minus 1 P2 V2. P2 by P1 raised to 1 minus n by n is n plus 1 by 2 minus 1. Finally, the C2 will get C2 equal to root n P2 V2. C2 equal to root n P2 V2. So, this velocity of steam obtained at the throat for maximum discharge is equal to root n P2 V2. But root n P2 V2 represents the velocity of sound. Velocity of sound in the steam at pressure P2 and V2. Therefore, it is clear that velocity of the fluid has reached the velocity of sound at the throat. Therefore, at the throat pressure, when the throat pressure becomes critical pressure ratio, when the throat pressure, the pressure ratio at the throat becomes critical pressure ratio, attains the critical pressure ratio, then velocity of the fluid becomes equal to velocity of sound. Then the Mach number will be 1. That means at the throat the Mach number will be 1. Similarly, we can also explain this velocity C2 obtained at the throat or velocity C2 obtained for the maximum discharge as equal to root of 2 n by n minus P1 V1 1 minus P2 V2 by P1 V1. Then expressing the C2 in terms of P1 V1, we will get root 2 n by n minus 1 P1 V1 into bracket 1 minus P2 by P1 raised to n minus 1 by n. For maximum discharge, the pressure ratio should be critical pressure ratio. Therefore, putting the value of critical pressure ratio as P2 by P1 equal to 2 by n plus 1 raised to n by n minus 1, you will get C2 equal to root of 2 by n plus 1 into n p1 v1 is equal to root of 2 by n plus 1 n into p1 v1 is equal to root of 2 by n plus 1 into root n p1 v1. Root n p1 v1 is a1, that is velocity of sound. A is, you know that a equal to root n pv. So n p1 v1 equal to a1, where velocity of sound in steam at pressure p1 and v1. So therefore we'll get this velocity of sound equal to maximum velocity of steam at the throat equal to C2 equal to root 2 by n plus 1 into a1. Thus we have got the expression for this C2 as we obtained C2 as the equal to velocity of sound at the throat. Okay, then next derivation, critical pressure ratio for adiabatic and frictionless expansion of steam from a given initial velocity. So critical pressure ratio already we have derived earlier. We have neglected the initial steam velocity. While deriving the critical pressure ratio in the last class, we have neglected the initial steam velocity. Now, what is the critical pressure ratio? Considering the initial pressure ratio, considering the initial velocity of steam. So, as you know, C2 square by minus C1 square by 2, gain in kinetic energy equal to expansion work equal to n by n minus 1, P1 V1 minus P2 V2. So therefore C2 equal to root of 2 by n minus 1 P1 V1 into bracket 1 minus r raised to n minus 1 by n plus C1 square. This is the expression of C2. Then from we have also P2 V2 P1 V1 raised to n equal to P2 V2 raised to n. Therefore V2 equal to V1 P2 by P1 raised to minus 1 by n. So equal to V1 r raised to minus 1 by n. So from continuity equation, m by a2 equal to c2 by v2. Substituting the value of c2 and v2 here, we will get m by a2 equal to this expression, root 2 n by n minus 1 p1 by v1 into bracket r raised to 2 by n minus r raised to n plus 1 by r plus c1 square r raised to 2 by n by r1 square, where r is p2 by p1. This is the expression for the mass flow rate considering the initial velocity of steam. So this, for finding the critical pressure ratio is that at which the flow rate will be maximum. Flow rate will be maximum for the critical pressure ratio. So therefore differentiating this equation with respect to dr, with respect to pressure ratio, and equating to 0, you will get the critical pressure ratio. So therefore now differentiating this equation with respect to d by dr of m by a2 equal to 0, we will get the critical pressure ratio equal to 2 by n plus 1 into bracket 1 plus n minus 1 by 2n c1 square p1 v1 whole raised to n by n minus 1. This is the value of critical pressure ratio considering the initial steam velocity c1. Now for the gas nozzles, n should be replaced by gamma, then r equal to rc equal to 2 by gamma plus 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m1 square raised to gamma by gamma minus 1. What is m1? m1 is Mach number, is equal to velocity of the steam divided by velocity of sound. So then if you put c1 equal to 0, the initial velocity is, if you assume initial velocity as 0, then we get, in the above expression here we will get same R equal to critical pressure ratio RC equal to 2 by n plus 1 whole raised to 2 by n plus 1 whole raised to n by n minus 1. This is the critical pressure ratio, neglecting the initial steam velocity, which you have already been, which has been derived earlier. No? Thank you.